In 1998, the World Commission on Dams embarked on a 3-year global evaluation of large dams, and they located the Secretariat in Cape Town, and that is where my organisation, the Environmental Monitoring Group, got involved. One of the problems we found was that the experiences of people on the ground weren't really coming through. So we hosted in 1999 the Southern African hearings for communities affected by large dams.
So the opportunity came, one of our colleagues, Environmental Monitoring Group from Cape Town, they were preparing communities to raise their voices before the Commission on World Commission on Dams that was chaired by Professor Kara Asmal, who was the Minister of Water Affairs in South Africa at the time.
I came across Brian Ash's comment from AtLife. Then I picked up the phone, I phoned him. We made arrangements to meet.
In 2003, we had a meeting at Inanda, in the valley, and we actually had a meeting at Kwadingaboko, and it was very interesting to see the communities come face to face for the first time on the cliffs overlooking the dam with the engineer who constructed the dam, and the dialogue that happened as a result of that on the dam top. They never met each other until that meeting.
In 2003, one of the campaigns that we took as environmentalists together with the communities was to highlight the issues of the dam-affected communities, particularly in Inanda Dam. We met with the former Minister of Water Affairs, Minister Castles, on the 25th of April 2003. The Minister then visited the dam-affected communities where they were living. We took the Minister to Zumachi, we took the Minister to Kwatinabagubo. That's where the Minister visited and saw people still living in tin shacks. And some of them were still living in plastic shallows. They've been living that kind of life from 1987. So that ceremony, the President came as well. The President acknowledged on behalf of government, together with the Minister, that the government acknowledges that as much as they are giving water to the 9 million persons since democracy, the previous government, the apartheid government, removed people forcefully. And according to the President, his government has committed his government to correct the wrongs of the past.
We may even tell the President of South Africa did come into our area, and I remember next to him was the chief, Mzonjani Ngobo, who actually got the money. And I remember the president turning on his side and he said, "Chief, thanks very much for allowing us to come here." Then the president said, "We understand that although we're happy with the construction of this, with the availability of this Inanda Dam, but we understand the people who were evicted here, there are issues that are outstanding whereby their compensation hasn't reached their hand." And he told the chief that the matter was on his hand to resolve. And that was the end of the day. So we have been getting promises all over, but nothing material.
And then Mbeki came to the Inanda area in 2003, and he said sort of publicly, "You were forced to move to make way for the Inanda Dam, while others, more privileged than you, drink every running drop of that precious water. So the communities felt, well, Mbeki's here, he knows what's going on, something now will happen. And since then, nothing has happened.
When the former Minister of Water Affairs was in charge, he was very, very kind to us. And I wish he was still the Minister of Water Affairs today. Because the moment he heard about these problems that we actually encountered, he formed this Inanda Dam Reparation Forum.
In addition to that, the minister invited a Ethekwini municipality on behalf of government to ensure that communities are relocated to decent houses, the construct houses. Obviously, and that process as well has not materialized.
And the reason why that Inanda Dam Forum was actually formed was to resolve these problems. I have so far resigned or sent my comment to say, since it was formed, nothing has materialized. I'm wasting my time going there. Nothing that is tangible that we have seen happening. But they still, they still calling those that forum meeting on a monthly basis. But I'm not attending because nothing has happened.
Earlier this year, February 2007, I attended one of the meetings of the Inanda Dam Forum, and there weren't enough councillors present to make a quorum, so it was a non-event, it was a non-meeting officially, and the chairman of that non-meeting said that not one single thing has happened in the 3 years that the Inanda Dam Forum has been meeting.
We wanted that there should be a memorial plaque whereby all people that actually died, their name should be placed on the wall of Inanda Dam.
To ensure that the memorial plaque is constructed, to ensure that affected communities get reparation, also prioritizing communities in development. We understand that the government was saying at the time they cannot provide monetary compensation. Unfortunately, monetary compensation came to, in our view, wrong people, because money is supposed to be compensating dam affected communities. It went to traditional leaders. Another dam forum has not been effective because of the government stakeholders. The government stakeholders have not, in another way, they betrayed the vision of the minister. The minister was very optimistic when he established the forum as a multi-stakeholder dialogue, which in a way is in line with what is proposed by the World Commission on Dams.
The World Commission on Dams, after their 3-year evaluation of dams throughout the world, they estimated that there's about 60 million people have lost their homes to dams, which, if you look at today's population, 60 million is equivalent to 1 out of every 100 people alive on the planet at this moment. One of the important issues that have come out of the World Commission on Dams and out of the South African process around the World Commission on Dams in their final report, which is about applying the World Commission on Dams in South Africa, is that outstanding social issues of the past need to be addressed. And in South Africa, we don't have a reparations policy, and we have no legal route for people that have been affected by the past.
I think benefit sharing is when communities that were directly affected by the dam start sharing the benefits of the dam rather than the greater population, because in most times there's people outside the community that share the benefits, and in most cases the dam affected communities get left behind. Downstream users benefited greatly out of it, while the dam affected communities are still living in the same conditions 20 years later that they were when they were first relocated.